Hi folks, Tristan from NoiseGate here with a super exciting first look at Korg's brand new OP6. We only just got our hands on this guy and we're still really getting our heads around everything it's capable of, but it's blowing my mind so much I couldn't wait to show it to you, so here we are. As you can see, it's in a very similar case to Korg's recent WaveState with 37 full-size keys, pitch bend and mod, but of course the interface is quite different. We have 6 faders and knobs on the left, nice big screen in the middle, 6 data entry knobs on the right, and these 16 buttons across the bottom for our favorites and for our sequencer. At the time of filming, it still hasn't been made exactly clear how you pronounce this name. I'm going to go with OP6, but please let me know in the comments if you feel it should be pronounced differently. However you pronounce the name, it should be pretty clear that this is a 6-operator FM synthesizer. And on that note, your mind probably jumps to a particular Yamaha synth from 1983, which is fair enough. But of course, this goes a lot further than what we typically think of with traditional FM synthesis. If you're after 80s nostalgia, then this certainly has you covered, as is made clear by some of the front panel legending and some of the presets. It has, for example, that piano sound. It also has this fabulously titled Maverick Bells patch, which sounds great, just the way it should, but it is a bit of a one-trick pony. But fortunately, we have a feature called Smooth Sound Transition, which lets you change patch without cutting off the tail of the last patch. So you can do things like this. Okay, we'll have to get a little bit nerdy here. So as usual, we have 6 operators per voice, which can be arranged in a number of configurations called algorithms, where each will be either a carrier, which means we'll be hearing its output signal, or a modulator, where its signal will be used to modulate another operator. The current algorithm is clearly displayed on the screen here, and it has a huge impact on the sound. I'll just call up a preset here and just scroll through some of the algorithms so you can hear how it changes. This is all one patch, I'm just changing the configuration of operators. And the last algorithm in the list here is called User, which is very powerful. It means you can actually create your own algorithm. That essentially turns this into a modular digital synth, which is hugely powerful. And also the front panel layout is very intuitive. We have 6 faders here for controlling the relative levels of all the operators, and 6 knobs above for controlling their ratio, i.e. their tuning. So ordinarily it would be pretty tricky to keep track of which operators are operating as carriers or modulators as you change algorithm, but it's made very clear here because it's all color-coded. So the carriers are in red and the modulators are in purple. So you know that if you adjust a carrier, it will be adjusting the level. If you adjust a modulator, you'll be adjusting the timbre. Of course, being able to tweak your sound this easily is fantastic, but like I mentioned, it's only really the beginning of the story. First of all, we have this analog modeling filter section with various different types of filters, including some emulations of some familiar classics, like the MS-20, plus a dedicated envelope. And that's not the last time the filters will make an appearance, but more on that soon. And in the spirit of subtractive synthesis, we can choose between a variety of waveforms for each operator, not just sine waves. For example, in this patch here, we have 6 sawtooth waves, all acting as carriers going through a low-pass filter. So it's like having a 6-oscillator virtual analog synth. Another exciting innovation here is we can step through each of the 6 operators and dramatically alter their character and behavior. This is done using the 6 knobs on the right here. For example, we can change each operator's mode, the default mode here being FM or frequency modulation. But we can change this to ring modulation, which produces a very different type of flavor. The next mode here is filter. which takes both the carrier and the modulator signal and runs them through a filter with key tracking enabled. And you can blend between the two oscillators here. So if you like, you can have a low-pass filter on each of the operators, as well as one on the overall output. The next mode, Filter FM, again runs the carrier through a filter, however the modulator is used to modulate the filter's cutoff frequency. This again adds harmonics and can be thought of as an additional type of FM synthesis, but this time the filter's cutoff frequency is being modulated, not the operator's frequency. The last mode here is called Wavefolder, which will be familiar to any fans of West Coast synthesis. It's basically a form of distortional clipping, where when the waveform reaches a certain amplitude, it gets inverted or folded back on itself. The input signal in this mode is a mix of the carrier and the modulator. As you can see, the OP6 has a large number of different synthesis types, all of which can be taken advantage of simultaneously by the various operators at our disposal. On top of everything we looked at so far, it also has a powerful multi-effect section and a 16-step polyphonic sequencer, which we'll have to look at in a future video. So thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more OP6 content coming soon.